Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com. Today we're taking a closer look at and installing the Corbeau seatbelt harness bar available for the 05 to 14 Mustang Coupe. You should be checking this out if you're looking to properly mount and secure a 3, 4, or 5-point seatbelt harness to a bar from a reputable company like Corbeau. Now, you can use, of course, your factory seatbelts, and as you can see, we are retaining them in the installation here, but I will say this is the absolute proper way to mount a regular harness bar that you get from Corbeau, Recaro, so on and so forth. As you can see, it's got a 3-piece mounting sequence. We've got supporting rods on the side, one on each side, and then the main horizontal bar at the top. Now the Corbeau logo you see in the middle there is a 3M decal that's included in the kit, obviously optional. We threw it on there. I like the way it looks. But for the bar here, it's a textured black powder-coated finish. And again, some people do go out and get theirs painted. I personally like that textured black finish. With our black leather interior, I think it looks really nice. Personal preference though. And it also has a tubular steel construction, which is very lightweight, but also very, very durable. Now, I do want to say that this is a good option for the guys who are not looking to spend big bucks on a full roll cage for full race mode. Now, with that said, you are saving money on the harness bar you see here, but it doesn't act as a roll cage. So in no way, shape, or form is this meant to support the chassis in any incident of a rollover. So keep that in mind moving forward. If you're in it for the safety aspect, you want to look into a full roll cage. But if you're looking to just properly mount that harness, the harness bar is a more affordable way to go, but also a proper way to go. In addition to all that, this is going to help stiffen up that chassis a little bit. Now, again, it's not a full roll cage, doesn't offer that full support. It does slightly stiffen up the chassis here, so you might be able to take rolls a little bit better around hard cornering. It'll keep everything nice and tight. In addition to the supporting rods on the side, which are adjustable, by the way, you can adjust the height of these. You get about a 2-inch adjustment on top, 2-inch adjustment on the bottom here on both sides. So that's good to keep in mind. In addition to the supporting rods, like I said, as well as the horizontal bar, you get these retainer bars already welded to the top horizontal bar. These are going to retain that harness once it's looped through. So those already taken care of. There is no cutting, there's no welding or any modification like that. It is a direct bolt-on. This one comes in right around 300 bucks, which I personally think is a pretty good deal for a harness bar like this. It's got a really premium brand name behind it. One thing I will say is that these are susceptible to getting dinged and scratched. So upon installation, just take really good care of when you're installing it. You don't want to get them scratched before you even get them in. That powder coating is a light layer. I'd say it looks good, but it is a very light and scratchable layer. Now guys, it's worth noting here that once you install a harness bar like this one, you are losing the rear seats. You could not safely put passengers on the rear seats because if you did and there was an accident on or off-road, they can be very, very seriously injured. There's a bar right in front of their face, and if they were to move forward, that can be very fatal and very, very dangerous. So that's worth noting. And guys, this is a good time to do a rear seat delete kit. When you install the harness bar, if you can't put people in the rear seats, might as well shave some weight, right? There are rear seat delete kits on the site as well, or you can leave them in, personal preference. Bolting it up is pretty simple. You're gonna bolt it to the top factory seatbelt positioning as well as the bottom. There are supporting rods and brackets as well as hardware included in the kit. And one thing I will say is depending on your model, you definitely want to make sure that you're bending these if they need to be bent. Now ours did need to be bent a little bit in order to reach both sides, but really it's not that hard to tackle. We'll say 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Anybody can tackle it in the driveway at home with very simple hand tools, and I'd say about 2 hours from start to finish. I'm going to take you through the entire process here, so what do you say we get started? Tools used for this install include an impact gun, 3/8 ratchet, 14 and 18 millimeter deep sockets, T50 Torx bit, needle nose pliers, and a flathead screwdriver. First step, grab a flathead screwdriver. We're going to pry off the plastic cap at the top of our seatbelt, starting on our driver's side. Going to stick it in there, pry back, pop that off. Grab a 14 millimeter socket and your impact gun and remove that bolt underneath that cap. Now, as you can see on the back side of that bolt, there's a little spacer and a metal washer holding it on. You need to get that washer out of the way to get the spacer out. Now to do that, grab needle nose pliers and hold on to one of the edges of that spacer, and you're gonna back the bolt out with your 14 socket. There you go. Set that aside and grab that spacer out, because you'll need that. Grab that spacer and set it right in the hole where that bolt used to sit. At this point, guys, leave this seatbelt just as it is, and you're gonna repeat this exact process for the upper portion of the other side. All right, so next up, grab the top portion of your harness bar and you're gonna basically slide it in, and we're gonna orient it on your factory bracket. Now for this little plastic and metal bracket piece, there is this guiding pin that goes into that factory slot. Now because our harness bar does not have a cut slot, we're basically going to just slide that bracket out and just use the plastic portion, because otherwise there would be no way for that to line up where it needs to go, and it would prevent the actual bolting up. So we're going to take that and install that onto the end here. From here, we're going to slide that into our bracket. Make sure our bearing is on the opposite end. All right, so here's the order you want things in. You want to make sure that the outside of your seatbelt is going toward the rear of the vehicle, so that's what's going into your plastic trim panel here. You want the harness bar in between that and the plastic trim on this side that goes onto the assembly. From there, you want to have that plastic piece that I just took apart. You saw that. Then you're going to have the harness bar and then the bearing. We're going to hold this into position and start threading it into that factory hole. Once you have that, just line it up and start threading in that bolt. You don't want to tighten it down too much. Just get it threaded in there to hold itself in place, but still leave room for adjustment. At the end of it, this is what the assembly should look like. Your seatbelt should be on the inside there, harness bar in the middle, factory seatbelt coming over and easily removable, just like this. You should still be able to pull it freely. That plastic support piece should be on this side. And then once you have that threaded in, repeat for the other side. So now at the top, you want to make sure you've got both sides threaded in. We've already repeated that for the other side, so you can see the top harness bars up there. Don't tighten this down too much just yet. Get it nice and hand tight, maybe a couple of clicks on your impact gun. We're going to start on the bottom now. Now for the bottom, we're going to pop off the plastic cap, similar to what we did at the top here, and then we're going to use a T50 Torx bit to remove the T50 Torx bolt. Now for this, you just want to push down and you can pry up and get that off. So this is attached to the seat belt, so you just want to leave that just loosen out of the way. Grab your impact gun and your T50 bit and remove that bolt. Now for this, you want to remove that spacer again, as well as the washer. Now this is a little bit easier. You can sort of just twist it off by hand, pop that out and out of the way, pull the spacer off as well. Now at this point, you want to grab the steel spacer included in the kit, this bracket here. You're going to put the bolt through the larger hole, not the one on the end, the one in the middle. On the back end, you're going to install that factory spacer and that retainer washer. Now that you may have to thread on a little bit by hand to get it to seat all the way back, just like this. Now that'll hold itself in place. Now this is going to install basically just like you see here. We're going to bolt this back up to the factory spot, and on the end here we're going to bolt our supporting rod for the harness bar. So the long bar that goes from the bottom to the top connecting both pieces is going to bolt here. Now next up, we're going to take our supporting rod, make a little adjustment if you need to. You can extend the ends here, which we've done here. You get a jam nut collar, that way you can loosen or tighten that nut in order to make those adjustments on both ends. You can, set it out exactly how it is out of the box and then see how much you need to make the adjustments by. So the top obviously is going to bolt to this bracket here, but we're going to worry about the bottom first. Now for the bottom, I'm going to prop this up there. Basically going to be taking that bracket that we just installed onto the T50 and bolting the end of this to the front side of that bracket using the hardware included in the kit. So we're basically going to put this bolt and washer through the end, through that bracket, may need to thread it in there a couple of times. On the opposite side, throw on a little washer and the nut there. From here, situate it in a way that you can bolt the T50 down. Get that T50 in there, just thread it in a couple by hand. You don't want to tighten that down too much just yet. You want to be able to adjust the bracket so you can adjust the height when you need to. All right, now for the top, you want to take the hardware again, the bolt washer, lean that up. You can leave that room for adjustment so you can move the top of the bar from here, tighten it down from the outside going inward. I like to thread this all the way down by hand. We're gonna need a ratchet to get in here to tighten that up. Now, as you can see, there's some room for adjustment. Now, if you want this bar to be more forward like this, you can adjust the height of this supporting rod. Put it back a little bit more. I'm gonna install ours just about like this, but before I can tighten all this hardware down, repeat this whole process for the bottom and the supporting rod on the other side. Now, I know I said repeat for the other side. I will say this little plastic cover is different than the other side we just worked on. It's the exact same process, even though this looks a little different. So it looks like we need to make a little bit of an adjustment at the top. Make that a little bit taller. All right, with this side tightened down by hand, we can go back and tighten all of our bolts down with our impact gun, but I think at the top here, we'll need to use our ratchet. We're gonna start at the bottom. Now this bolt down here is an 18 millimeter, so grab that socket and tighten it down. This top bolt is also an 18 millimeter, so get that where you want it and tighten it down. Now the last one is the top 14 millimeter. Perfect. Now once you have that tightened down, and again, you don't want to overdo it, grab that plastic cap, snap it right back into place. Now we can repeat that for the other side. Well guys, that's going to wrap up my review and install for the Corbeau seatbelt harness bar available for the 05 to 14 Coupe. Now, if you're the owner of an S197 and you're looking to properly secure a 3, 4, or 5-point harness with a harness bar like this one without going full roll cage, this is a great way to go, and you can pick yours up right here at AmericanMuscle.com.